The power shift, how artists are taking control of their careers. The art world is undergoing a seismic shift. Once, an artist's fate hinged on the gallerist's approval. Now, everything has changed. Social media, online platforms, and marketplaces have given artists direct access to their audience, freeing them from waiting for a gallery's nod. Today, an artist can build their own brand, cultivate a community of fans, and sell work directly to collectors. They're no longer just creators but strategists, marketers, and media figures. Instead of hoping to be noticed, they shape their own careers. And more often than not, they succeed. This shifts the balance of power. Galleries are losing their monopoly on recognition. But they're not vanishing, they're evolving. To stay relevant, galleries can't just be spaces for display anymore. They're expected to create meaning, build visibility, and open doors to institutions, collectors, and brands. The gallerist is becoming an agent. A producer. A bridge between the artist and the world, beyond the gallery's walls. For artists, this shift isn't just about power, it's about responsibility. Opportunities are growing, but so is competition. Self-promotion demands time, energy, and discipline. Not every artist wants or can handle it. So, a partnership is still possible. But on new terms. Now, artists choose who to work with. If a gallery doesn't deliver value, meaning, connections, real promotion, the artist walks away. For the first time in ages, they can afford to. This power shift isn't a conflict. It's a new equilibrium. Both sides win, if they understand the rules of the game. Check out my gallery of paintings in the profile header and video description. Eduard Kichigin. Is the starving artist a choice? The image of the starving artist is almost sacred. A master who suffers for truth, lives in poverty, rejected in life, revered only after death. But let's be real, this myth needs to retire. Today, suffering isn't the price of admission to art, poverty doesn't prove authenticity, and torment isn't the currency of talent. A modern artist can be an entrepreneur. They can sell their own work, they can curate exhibitions, build an audience, craft a career, without patrons. Or humiliation, social media, marketplaces, crowdfunding, these are their tools. There's demand. There's technology. There's a global market, and if they're still starving, maybe it's not fate but a mindset. The real question is, does the cult of suffering hold artists back? Does it make them dodge success, as if it taints their art? Does it delay exhibitions, promotion, publications, out of fear of being sell out? The truth is, art doesn't need suffering. It needs strategy. It needs skill in capturing attention, in negotiating, in surviving, without sacrifice. Today's artist has the right to be stable, strong, visible, and yes, financially successful. The starving artist, it's no longer a sentence or a badge of honor. It's a choice, and maybe not always the wisest one. Check out my gallery in the profile header and video description. Eduard Kichigin. The gallerist is a marketer, not a curator. Degradation or evolution. Who is the gallerist today? Not the one hunting for geniuses in basements, but the one crafting strategies, running SMM, and sealing brand deals. They've become a marketer. A producer. A distributor, and that's the new norm. Not long ago, a gallerist was a curator of meaning, selecting the finest works, shaping the taste of an era, shielding fragile artists from a harsh world. Now, they navigate that harsh world themselves. They fight for traffic, create buzz, launch special projects. They must not only feel art but master algorithms, psychographics, SEO, and visual trends. But what's lost in this shift? Where's that gallery voice? Strict, independent, cultured. Where's the curatorial mission, the act of selection as a philosophical, not commercial, gesture? Today's gallerist must be adaptable. Once they discovered names, now they bring products to market. The artist is a partner. The painting, an asset. The space, a touch point with the audience. Is this the profession's decline, or its salvation? In today's world, a curator who can't connect with the public vanishes, but one who can. They wield more influence than ever. Maybe this is evolution. The mission remains. It's just taken a new form. Today's gallerist is a director of art in an age of fleeting attention. Their job isn't just to choose but to deliver. To repackage. To meet the moment, and, perhaps, to make even complex art something people crave again. The question is, are they serving culture, or the algorithm? Check out my gallery in the profile header and video description. Eduard Kichigin. The collector as producer, how buyers shaped the style of art once, the artist created, and the collector came at the end. They chose, bought, preserved. Now, things are different. The collector is no longer the finale but the starting point. They set the direction, they shape the style, the format, even the themes. They're the producer. And their voice now drowns out the curators. Why? Because art has become a market. And markets crave predictability, investors want value growth. Brands want visuals that fit their marketing strategy, museums want relevance and numbers. The artist? They must be adaptable, ideally within an aesthetic primed for replication, collaboration, or quick shoots. A world where the buyer rules gives artists resources. Money. Platforms. Reputation, but it also sets conditions. It shapes tastes. It turns freedom into a format. Some artists embrace this. They join the big industry, others resist, but pay with visibility, because without media, brands, or institutions, it's hard to be heard today. Here's the paradox: the artist is free. But the one who pays sets the rules, sometimes subtly, through expectations. Sometimes directly, through a brief. What's left for the artist? To balance. Or to choose, be an independent loner, or a strategist engaging with the system, because today, the collector isn't just a spectator. They're a partner, a co-creator, an investor, and sometimes, they decide more than the artwork itself. Check out my gallery in the profile header and video description. Eduard Kichigin. The art market as show business. Do we need cultural pop? These days, the question keeps coming up, is art about depth? Or is it just about hype? What once thrived in the quiet of studios and white-walled galleries now feels more like show business. Paintings go viral. Artists turn into influencers. Art becomes content. There's a term for it, viral art. Works that look good on camera, spark instant reactions, rack up likes. They're bold, shocking, sometimes on the edge. The goal? To catch fire. Exhibitions morph into Instagram backdrops. And gallerists? They're less curators, more producers. It's not all bad, but here's the question, are we losing the essence? Where's the space for silence, depth, layers? In a culture where algorithms, not meaning, call the shots, the market for cheap thrills is booming. Works made to go viral sell fast, get copied, then fade. They don't aim for eternity, they chase the moment. It's convenient. It's profitable, but does it make art better? Some artists adapt. They create work that lives in two worlds, the gallery and the TikTok feed. Others refuse to join the race. And they pay for it with silence. The question lingers, do we need cultural pop? Can art be both mainstream and meaningful? And who decides what's valuable, the crowd or the experts? One thing's clear, show business has crashed the gallery. There's no hiding from it. The real question is, who's running the show, art or show business? Check out my paintings in the profile header and video description. Eduard Kichigin.